the defenders last year or 2 years ago, they just left me. They don't know who I was. But now the defenders just grab onto me. Actually, that was a worry because under 20, if I'm not under 22, there'll be less chance for me to prove myself. Right now, I think I can be a national player. I have a confidence that I can be a national player. When I came back to Korea, I wasn't that good. I was a scorer. I had the talent of scoring goals as a striker. My only talent. Hello, I'm Ho-jae from Pohang Steelers.
Okay, our guest this week has football in the family. He's an FA Cup winner and is one of his club's top scorers this season. It's Pohang Steelers striker Ho-jae. Hello there, welcome to our podcast.
Hello.
I'm not really sure how to address you. Yeah. Did you have an English name when you were in New Zealand?
No, my English name is Ho-jae. I tried to change it, but it was too late, so I didn't change it.
Fair enough. What was that like then, living in New Zealand, and how long were you there?
I went there when I was 7, and I lived there about 10 years.
Wow.
10 years till, yeah. So I came back, 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I came back to Korea and went to Incheon.
Is there anything that you miss from New Zealand? Food, maybe?
Nature, and the freedom. In Korea, people are too busy.
Yeah.
They're too because they have to go to company. But in New Zealand, they have freedom.
Yeah, Korea is very full on, isn't it? Everyone's very busy. Yeah. Everyone lives life very quickly, very fast paced. So at what age did you realize that your dad had a different job to your friends, that he was a professional football player? At what age did you think, oh wow, my dad plays football for a living?
Actually, when I went to New Zealand and when I was 9 years old, I realized because my dad played for the Auckland City FC in New Zealand, and he played there, and he went to the FIFA Club World Cup. So I knew that, my dad plays football for his living.
Wow.
And I just searched him in the internet, and I asked my mother, and I knew.
Wow. And what age did you realize that you wanted to be a football player?
When I just grew up, when I was young, I used to play with football, and I just talked about with my father always about soccer and how he plays football. So I think when I was young, I just I really wanted to do soccer when I was young as well. So I just naturally grew up with football, and I started football.
And at what point did you realize that you were going to make it? Because obviously every young boy and most young boys, their dream is to play football. But for most people, that doesn't happen. Myself, didn't happen. But for you, obviously, at what age did you realize, oh, maybe I can become a pro?
Actually, when I came back to Korea, I wasn't that good. I was a scorer. I wasn't that good in my feet or strength. I was always below the average. So I just kept on going, keep push myself to be better than them. So I went to the Korean University. I did the weight training, and I did more training than the others. And I realized that day that I think I can be a successful soccer player or professional player.
Because that's quite late, because I suppose these days kids are playing in academies from very, very young age, and they might be told. You look at people like Yang Min-hyuk and Yoon Do-young, they are just 17, 18, and they will have been probably told, you're special from the age of 10 maybe. But for you, obviously that came quite late.
Yeah. So
I also want to know what it's like for a professional football player when they play football with their friends when they're young. So you're saying that it came quite late, but how were you compared to your friends playing football when you were young? Were you just that little bit much a bit better, or was it kind of equal?
When I played football and when I was young, I was
Yeah.
actually I had the talent. I think by myself, I think I had the talent of scoring goals as a striker. That was my only talent as a soccer player, scoring goals and my shooting ability, the power. Those ability was the only strength when I was playing soccer when I was young. So I just kept on improving those stuffs and like improving what I'm doing good. So I just kept on improving those stuff, and I came back to Korea, and coaches and the players knew that I was good at scoring goals. So that's when I was thinking I should be a striker.
That's interesting. Because obviously your dad was a left back, right? So you weren't interested in being a defender. You were just thought, well,
Yeah.
I'm good at scoring goals, so that's what I'm going to do.
My
Sorry, go.
dad told me to play as a striker, not a defender. Because he didn't get any spotlight when he was playing defender, so he wanted me to get a spotlight when I obviously score goals. Then I get spotlight because my dad, when he played as a defender, he didn't get any spotlight. So that was his yeah.
I want to ask you about your squad number. Why number 33? Because you started with number 20, and then you had 18, which I think are kind of strikers' numbers. But you've had 33 for the last two seasons. What's the meaning behind that?
When I came back to Korea, my first back number was 33, and I actually did good in that like one season, and after that I went back to 9, and when I first came to professional soccer play in Pohang Steelers, my first number was 20 and 18, but I didn't do good. I actually felt that I didn't do good as I didn't feel that I didn't give out that what I got. So I wanted to go to the what they call start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I just put my back number at 33.
You scored two recently against Incheon. Obviously, you were there as a young player in their academy and stuff. How did that feel, scoring against Incheon?
It actually felt really nice because actually I first came in Korea and I went to the Incheon's youth team, and after that, as a professional soccer player, I went to Pohang Steelers. So playing against them was actually at first when I was at my first year, I went to the Incheon fans and told them hi, and after that, I was just because this is a rival team, it's an against team. I have to win against them because I'm Pohang Steelers. So after scoring 2 goals, I was so happy because before scoring 2 goals, I hadn't scored a goal for a month. So I wanted to score. So I don't actually I didn't care which team I was playing against. I didn't care which. I had no feelings against Incheon United. Or I was
Fair
just
enough,
happy.
for
Nothing much.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, generally speaking, you're in good form at the moment. For yourself, you must be quite happy as well with how the season is going from your point of view, and also for the team. You're in a title race. Must feel good.
Yeah, it feels good because we're actually a good team. Pohang Steelers is a really strong team, and we're in a high standing right now. Like we're the third of the league, and actually I'm helping the team as a scorer right now. So that feels really good as a striker. So I think we have to keep on going to be a champion of the team, a champion of the league.
Yeah. Well, I read that recently you were shown some videos of other strikers, and I think you mentioned
Yeah.
Ju Min-gyu was one of them.
Yeah.
Who else did you watch, and what other strikers perhaps do you admire the most? Who are your footballing heroes?
Other than Jimin Gyu, I saw Erling Haaland, and Harry Kane, because
Yeah.
Harry Kane, he's a good finisher, but as well as if he comes down to like connect the ball, he's really good on his feet and passing, and his kicks really nice. So I try to watch what he does when he comes down. And Erling Haaland, when he has ball in his feet and he's watching the goal, if he dribbles, no one can stop him. So when I scored against Incheon United, that's what I did. What I tried to do. Yeah, what
That
I
was a
tried
great
to do.
goal.
Yeah,
That
thank
one
you.
when you ran through was a really great goal.
Yeah.
So, when you were first getting involved in football and playing football, which players did you like the most? Who were your heroes when you were growing up?
As a kid, obviously I watched Cristiano Ronaldo. I wanted to be a winger, but my height and my strength and my speed wasn't that fast, so I just tried to do as a striker. So when I played in New Zealand, my back number was number 7.
Oh, okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
but I changed it.
Yeah. Well, obviously we've talked about your dad a little bit. Was he involved with Incheon when you moved there? Was that obviously one of the reasons why you went to Incheon's youth system? Because he was there.
No, actually, I did a test. I did a test in Incheon because if I wanted to go into any like club youth team, I had to do the test. But on that test, we did like 2 practice games, and in 2 practice games, I actually scored like 5 goals or 4 goals. So I think as a striker needs to score goals. So that's why I think the club chose me to come in.
Yeah. What was it like then, obviously, when you played for Pohang against your dad's team when he was manager of Seongnam? That must have been quite a strange experience for you. What was that like?
I actually, when I first went into the stadium, I didn't felt that good because as a opposite team's manager was my dad, and one of us has to smile and or cry because it's a tournament game. But actually, we wanted to win. We have to win because we are a stronger team. But otherwise, then we're going down. So really mixed feelings. But I scored 2 goals in that game. And after the game, I told my dad sorry because told him sorry. But actually, he was proud of me. He said he did good, but yeah.
Was there ever any thought about going on loan to Seongnam, just to sort of learn your trade a little bit?
But I didn't want to go to loan on to Seongnam because of my dad. Because if I do good in Seongnam, or if I play games in Seongnam, then the small amount of fans will say, "Oh, because I'm playing because of my dad." But not most of the fans will say, "Oh, I'm doing good." But like small amount of fans will say, "Oh, he's just playing because of dad. He's not that good." So I just didn't want to go to a team where that team manager was my dad. I didn't want to go to Seongnam because of my dad.
Well, obviously, I think you've shown that to stay at Pohang was the right decision because you're now playing every week almost. Well, how did the move to Pohang? How did that happen? Obviously, you were at Incheon and then you moved over to Pohang, a big club. How did that happen? That move?
Actually, when I was in Korean university, my agent told me that Pohang Steelers was interested in me. So but actually, there's a behind story because my dad was head coach in Incheon, but he didn't do good in Incheon, so he just went down. So that's not the most reason that I didn't go to Incheon, but that is the small amount of reason that I didn't go to Incheon, and I went to Pohang. Yeah.
And when a team like Pohang Steelers wants to sign you, obviously that's quite hard to say no, isn't it? It's such a huge club. You must feel that as well by being a player there, just how big of a club that it is.
Yeah, Pohang has the most history in K League right now. So if the agent told me, if you want, do you want to go to Pohang? Yes, I wanted.
Yeah.
No one else. I was just
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're playing well, scoring goals, and I think in K League, teams and fans kind of expect teams to sign foreign strikers. You had Zeka was there for a while at Pohang. He's obviously gone now.
Yeah.
Then they replaced him with George. He's
Yeah.
there, and you've had to be a little bit patient to get a run in the team. Is that frustrating? Because obviously there's this kind of an obsession with foreign strikers and foreign forwards, but you're maybe thinking, well, I'm here. I can score goals.
Yes.
What's that like?
When I first came to Pohang Steelers, my first year, I'm actually this is my fourth year right here in Pohang. But actually, every year the foreigners has changed. So every year I had to compete with the different foreigners. But actually, the head coach first they trusted the foreigner over me. So I have to tell the head coach on the field that I'm better than him, or I have to show him in the games or stuff. So I have to be actually a little patient, just do my stuff. Then the coach will give me chances, a bit of 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Then that time I have to give out everything that I have, and that's all. Give out what I have. Then the head coach will use me again. Then that time again give him that all I got. That's the reason that I'm playing right now.
For sure. Well, you've scored some really good goals. Even just very recently, you scored that really great goal against Incheon. What has been the most memorable goal that you've scored?
And actually, I think the Incheon, the second goal I scored when I dribbled, because I wanted to show the fans or the fans that I can dribble, because most of the fans that say he can't dribble, he's only a player who can shield the ball or just put the goal in easy goals. He can only score easy goals, but I wanted to show the fans that I can dribble and I can make plays and I can score goals off dribbling. So the second goal was the most impressive goals that I scored.
I think, okay. I thought maybe you might mention the two goals that you scored against Gwangju a few years ago. Because that was like, oh, wow, who's this? You scored those two goals, and proper strikers' goals, back to goal turn.
That's true.
And it was like, wow, we have this young striker arrive on the scene. What was that day like? Do you remember? Because were you told, okay, you might come on today? Or what was your reaction when you were heading out onto the pitch?
The head coach didn't tell me that I was going in, but I knew that I was going in about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So in that time, that was my first year, but I had like many chances of scoring goals in my first year, but I missed it. So in Gwangju, when I went in, I need to score goals because the season is ending. So I have to score goals, and I just tried to focus in front of goal, and the cross was really good from Sang. It was a really good cross. So I just headed in to the goal. The second goal, during practice games or practice. So when the chance came in the game, I just simply, calmly, touched the ball and shoot in the goal. Then it just went in. Yeah, I think I can score those goals in many games, but Incheon second goal was, I think, because I dribbled maybe 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
special.
so,
It was a good goal.
yeah.
So when you first started playing a bit regularly for Pohang, people didn't really know too much about you. You're a young player, but now people know who you are. So you're not really, there's no mystery around you anymore. Is that harder for you now? Because maybe defenders, they are aware of your skills and what you can do. Is it difficult? Is there more pressure on you now that you're a bit more well known?
Yeah, because it's more difficult because during the game, when our wingers try to cross the ball, the defenders last year or 2 years ago, they just left me wide open because they don't know who I was. But now, when the cross comes, the defenders just grab onto me. So it's harder for me to score goals, but I have to think more about how to move inside the box and watch more how Erling Haaland or Harry Kane moves around the boxes.
Well, obviously, the most recent game that you played in was the East Coast Derby. You scored the goal that proved to be the winner. What's that like, playing in an East Coast Derby and scoring? It must be a dream for you, surely.
Yeah, scoring goals in East Coast Derby is really special for me and the club. But before that game, we hadn't won 6 home matches. We had 6 home matches, and we didn't win a game. So all our players had pressure on themselves, and even the coach had pressure. But winning against East Coast Derby and scoring the final goal was really special for me as well.
For sure. What is it like just playing in those kind of games? Because, Ulsan are a good team. They won the league the last 2 years. You're not going to get many chances. You have to be there and ready to take the chances when they do come. In your case, it was a penalty. How did that feel when you got the ball and you put it down and you're going to take the penalty? Were you nervous?
At the time, the goalkeeper, Jo Yanu, he was a really good keeper in K-League right now as well. So I was really nervous, but I tried to not express that I was nervous, and I just calmly, because I had confidence in my penalty shootout. Like I had confidence what I going to do when I had penalty. So I just calmly just thought about how to shoot the ball, and I just calmly put it in the box, in the
Yeah.
goal.
It was a big goal and a big win. And speaking of big wins, obviously you won the FA Cup last year. What was that like, winning the FA Cup?
For the players, being a champion in K-League or other cups, it's really special because in my career, if I look, then there's one trophy in my career. That's really special for any players, not by myself or any player will think that's special.
And was there a big celebration afterwards, a big party?
Now we had a game after the final game, so we had to get ready for the next game. So
Get ready for that.
we had a party, but after end of the season, we had a really good big party.
Oh, good. That's good to know. Has winning that FA Cup made you more hungry for more medals, for more success?
My first year, we almost won the what do you say?
Yeah, the ACL, got to that final.
Final. We almost won. So in my last year, when I went to the final, I didn't want to miss it out again. So when I went in the game, I just focused on the game, and I think focus and the desire to win the game made our team champion.
Because Pohang have been kind of making lots of progress over the last 5 years or so, slowly getting back to that level that they were, 10, 15 years ago. How important for the club was it to win something, to have something to show for all the hard work that's gone on over the last sort of 4 or 5 years?
Actually, Pohang Steelers, every season, most of the players go out and new players come in. So it's hard for the players who are in the original season. It's difficult to help each other because it's new players. But every season, we are trying to cooperate to each other and try to bring out good stuff between players. So I think playing as one team makes our team more stronger and more stronger team in K League.
Well, obviously, you won the FA Cup with Kim Ki-dong in charge. He's left. How did you react when you heard the news that he was leaving?
There was a rumor that he was leaving like 2 years ago as well. And when I heard that he was leaving to Seoul, I actually didn't believe it because I didn't want him to leave because I learned really a lot from him because when I first came to pro, I wasn't that good player at that stage. But learning from him made me a better player. So I didn't want him to leave. So I didn't believe it at first.
Yeah. And when you first started playing under Kim Ki-dong, you were obviously under 22, and there is that under 22 rule in the K League. You're not under 22 anymore. Was there ever a worry that maybe you wouldn't get opportunities to play because you're not under 22 anymore? Was that a concern for you?
Actually, there was a worry because if I'm not under 22, there'll be less chance for me to prove myself. So last year was the important year. Last season was the most important season for my personal year because I'm not under 22 and I have to show. That was my last year to prove myself that I can be a successful soccer player. So I have to press myself every game and every minutes that I play in K League.
Yeah. Well, things are going well under Park Tae-ha. What's he like to work with? He seems kind of calm, a bit different from Kim Ki-dong. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Because I met Park Tae-ha a few years ago at a Gimpo game. I didn't realize that it was him until he gave me his business card, and then I was like, oh, it's Park Tae-ha. I didn't realize he was very, very friendly. He's a very friendly kind of guy, and you wonder, can that kind of friendly personality work as a manager? Sometimes you might need to be a little bit harsh or sort of strict, but he seems to be doing very, very well. So what's he like behind the scenes? Can he be mean? Can he be scary?
Sometimes it's actually strict and scary, but most of the time he comes to the players and talks. He actually talks a lot between players because he wants to be friendly. But sometimes he can be strict or scary, but most of the time he's friendly.
Well, I've got a few questions from fans on social media to ask you before we finish. So we have one question from Che So-hyuk on Instagram who asks, do you have a match day routine? Anything that you do every day on the day of a game?
Match day routine. I always drink Monster, energy drink Monster. And there's no actually typical routine that I do every game matches.
Okay.
I just drink and energy drink. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Like
Nothing
Jamie
much.
Vardy, he does that. He drinks Red Bull.
Yeah, white one has 0 calories. So
Oh,
the
okay.
physical coach told me to drink that one.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Someone called Andika Prawira on Instagram asks, why the long but slow run up to take a penalty?
Because that makes the goalkeeper. It's hard for a goalkeeper to get his timing right. Because if I go fast, then I'm making better timing for the goalkeeper. But if I go slow, then the goalkeeper's timing makes it difficult to jump. So that's why I go slow.
I see.
That's all.
Fair enough. Ross Davis on Twitter asks, why the Platini celebration when you led down? Where did that come from? Where was the idea to do that?
In Incheon game, the second goal,
Yeah.
I actually want to do the dropper ceremony when I slide on my knees, but actually I fell down. So that was my natural. I just did that ceremony because I just fell down. That's all, nothing much.
Okay. All right. Well, a few more questions. Diogo on Twitter, who is a Seongnam fan, actually, he says, do you look at yourself as a future national team player?
Right now, I think I can be a national player. I have a confidence that I can be a national player because every player in K-League, they want to be a national player. The goal is to be a national player. So same as well. My goal is to be a national player, and I think I'm confident that I can be a national player.
Yeah, well, obviously you've seen some of your teammates. Hwang-in-jae has got a call up, and Park Sung-uk, obviously he's at Incheon now, but you've seen people that you know, your friends, get called up. So, and the Korean national team needs that kind of number 9 type striker.
Yeah,
There's not too many around. Ju Min-gyu obviously got a call up quite late, well, very late in his career. Hopefully, you get your call up much faster than he did at 33.
I hope.
But yeah, fingers crossed we get to see you play for the national team. One more question is from Kim Dae-ryong, who runs Korean Football News on Twitter. He's asking, I'm curious if he thinks his finishing skills were influenced by his father, who was known as the cannon shooter. Any sort of tips from your dad about how to shoot because he was so good at it?
My finishing actually didn't come from him because he was a defender, but my shooting skill and power came from him because he was a cannon shooter as well, as you said. But my finishing technique or skills didn't come from him because he's a defender.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, Ho-jae, thank you so very, very much for your time today. It's been a real pleasure and interesting to listen to what you've had to say. Good luck this weekend and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yep, thank you. Thank you.